Okay.
Hey guys, it's Grant with AnglingAuthority.com here at ICAST 2014. I'm at the Pure Fishing booth with Mike Iaconelli. Now, Mike's got a reel here that won Best in Show for freshwater.
Did?
Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Revo Beast?
Yeah, Revo Beast, and you know I'm a beast, right? I'm a beast myself, you know that, right? Revo Beast is going to be an amazing reel for what I call big lures, big baits. The ones that come to mind, we talked a little bit about them off camera, are swim baits, you know, big swim baits, 6, 8, 10-inch swim baits. A-rig, you know, the A-rig craze that's sweeping the nation. You know, sometimes you've got 10 baits on a single rig. It weighs over 3-4 ounces sometimes. Right. And then finally, big crankbaits. You know, think about this big crankbait technology, long lining, strolling technique where the crankbait has a bill on it that big. That's really where this thing's going to shine. A couple cool features about the Beast. It's got a 7:1-to-1 gear ratio, so a little bit faster gear ratio. It's not that super slow ratio. And the other thing is the handle. You know, we talked about it. That thing is really what makes the Beast shine. If you look at it, it's a longer, oversized handle with giant grips on it. And when you have a technique where you're casting a big, heavy bait and you need more power, you know, you're grinding that thing back, this thing is the reel to use. It saves you, you know. A normal reel with shorter handle, a couple hours in, you feel overworked. With the Beast, you could fish it all day, 8-10 hours, and it doesn't overwork you. Really key reel for fishing big baits. If you like to fish big baits, you got to have this thing. It's awesome.
Great.
Those big lure techniques, you know, strolling, freaking A-rig, giant swim bait, that's the deal. That's what I'm throwing it. I'm not using it for flipping and pitching, or you know what I mean. I'm still using other reels, but it's a big bait reel. You know what I mean? A-rig, if you're about to fish in tournaments, giant swim baits, deep diving crankbait, strolling with these. Look at Strike King has a giant freak of bugs out now. Yeah, that's the reel. That's the deal.
What about like big game? Do you think it's good for big game?
I think it'd be
big.
I think it'd be great. I mean, I think it'd be great for any big lure where it's you've got a lot of line out and you're reeling. You know what I mean? Like long cast, big lure techniques. It'd be a great reel. I mean, pike, muskie. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Yeah. I haven't used it for that yet, but I don't see why it wouldn't.
What did they change on it?
So the biggest thing, it's got the 7:1 gear ratio, but the biggest thing is that to me is the handle design. So longer handle, bigger handle, and bigger grips.
So more
power, and that's what you want. Dude, think about it. A-rig's like 3, 4, 5 ounces sometimes. You know, you gotta heave it out there, yep. And then you gotta reel it, but you want power, you know, on like a regular reel, you know, Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, dude, about 2 hours in a day, you're dead. Yeah. On that reel, it takes away a lot of that. It's a good reel for certain techniques. That's how I've incorporated it into my fishing. Now,
they have the Revo winch.
They do?
How does the Revo winch differ from this? Because someone who has a winch is going to say, well, why am I going to buy the Beast?
Yeah, Revo winch is lower gear ratio, right? Okay. So you're at 5:1-to-1 versus 7:1-to-1. Okay. So that's sometimes you want a slower gear ratio. You know, if you're like creeping a crankbait, you want a lower ratio, but sometimes you want a little more speed. A-rig, again, is a great example. A-rig, to me, I want to get those baits moving so it looks like a school of shad swimming together. I want a faster ratio. So another great point for it there. You know, again, giant lures, like it's nothing out west to throw an 8-inch swim bait. You know, you get out there, they're eating trout, you got to heave that thing, and you want to keep it coming in a good clip. That's when I'd use that reel. You know, normal deep diving crankbait, normal size crankbait, I'd still go with the winch, but a crankbait that's that big, that's the kind of reel I'd want. Bigger baits, longer cast, that's the reel I want.